It's a good mix of like, it's almost like techno, but it's not like the hardcore, up really like annoying techno almost, right?
I think it's fantastic.
I listened to it in my car. In my mind, I can't get over how much it sounds like the Beatles. At least in my head, it does.
It's kind of got a disco thing going to it there. A lot of good bass.
I have a feeling.
Intriguing, exciting, very countercultural.
They were a sellout from the beginning.
It wasn't quite rap or hip-hop, but it had elements of that, and also kind of a slightly psychedelic element too.
Yeah, I think that the thing that ties those early scenes together, right from Anne Murray, Matt Minglewood, to those bands that we used to hear about from out here, to the whole Sloan Sub Pop axis, the band that ties both of those scenes together and probably has influenced certainly all the bands that came after them was the Surf Poets.
If immaturity is indeed a result of certain chemical imbalances.
And I don't really think that that people have understood that yet. And probably in looking back, I assume that they will take their rightful spot. They will get their rightful due.
Well, Doug Barron phoned me up and he wanted to use my gear, and I said, I'm playing the gear. If you want to use my gear, I have to use it. I have to activate it. I have to be in control of it. So reluctantly, he said, fine. Groovebox in the band, Phil operating it.
Well, it's what kind of a band? What is it? What kind of music is it? It's not rock and roll.
Sounds like some kind of a dance music, disco type thing.
I don't hate it, no.
But I mean, I could totally listen to this. Yeah.
Funky.
Country. It's a country love song.
The painful white noise and sand that they tossed upon the artistry of humanity was horrific.
When chemistry is right, it can cause beautiful elements of fusion to happen.
They sucked. I mean, I did it because they sucked.
Irreverent, witty, sarcastic.
I just thought it was a random splattering of words.
Moving, deep.
You know, in a shallow age, I mean, it's very easy to find deep significance.
You know, the band toured extensively, of course, and really busted their nuts that way.
The best part of that was we got great parking at the time. I remember being thrilled, thinking, we're not getting paid much, but we have got great parking.
I mean, I know that they were beloved in Whistler, for instance. You know, they were that kind of band.
I think it was magic.
Have a good time, do it for cheap, and don't worry about Leslie making money when you're not.
Definitely, they were only in it for the money.
It was so visceral that it made my whole body join in that experience. I didn't know what it was. I couldn't put words on it. But when I was there, when we were together, which happened most of the time, I have to admit, I felt that I was suspended, that I was part of a cosmic is not the right word. It was more local. It was like, it was a pond. It was contained. I felt as if I was one with my immediate environment, not with the universe. I don't believe in God, but the Surf Poets made me feel like there was a truth. That's what I felt. I felt that I was part of a truth.
I've seen the best minds of my generation zoned out on Windows, gone Microsoft in the head, and lost like cattle in the perimeters of happiness, without a clue as to the way back home. Who loiter in the shopping malls at lunch hour, pressing thumb and forefinger against Tommy Hilfiger casual wear. Who can't find spare change from their fashionable pockets for street musicians, or sympathy for bag ladies collecting Pepsi cans from the abundant garbage.
I've seen the best minds of my generation.
Surf Poet's favorite planet. I mean, they talk about that all the time. I never quite understood it. For me, I think they would be a particularly small and barren asteroid.
Mars. The band's favorite planet was undoubtedly Mars.
I liked Venus.
The favorite planet of the Surf Poets was definitely Pluto.
The Surf Poets' music would probably come from Pluto, I would think, just because it's the furthest from the sun and it's cold.
Planet Earth.
Tokyo was a high point.
Tokyo was a bit of a haze for me. I can't remember where we were before that. I think we were somewhere in the Ukraine.
Well, it was pretty intense. Like there were guys with barking horns and stuff like that, and lights and all this sort of thing in the malls. And the malls would be like 5 or 6 stories tall.
Tokyo is a Japanese city.
I liked the fact that they weren't afraid to try just about anything.
They were bringing together these two disparate worlds of, you know, sort of the literary word print type people and the kind of the music people. You know, the great kind of dream of, you know, almost like the philosopher's stone of music. And not too many people had done, Patti Smith had done that, and the Doors had done that.
I liked Jim Morrison's music. I liked his persona. I liked the way that he brought poetry into music, but I could see that there was something negative. There was a poison at the heart of Jim Morrison that was destroying him. And I wanted to make sure that that wasn't going to happen to me.
Making a pilgrimage to Jim Morrison's grave is about as banal as a rock and roll thing can be, you know.
Well, you know, we were beyond wondering why Leslie did anything, really. Leslie just did things that seemed like a good idea to Leslie at the time, and I think we were probably just all pissed off because we didn't get to go. Oh yeah, Leslie's going to Paris. You know, what are we doing? Nothing.
Did he? I didn't know he went to Paris. Did he really go to Paris? Why did he do that? I don't know.
I mean, any miscreant, any people without talent now can make anything and call it art and make a living out of it. And this shallow stuff is what I think is driving the whole human species. It's typical of it, driving the human species to a horrible end, to extinction itself.
Because they thought they were the Beach Boys, because they thought they were hunky men, they expected some sort of New Kids on the Beach kind of thing, right?
I refused to go to Los Angeles because of the smog.
I don't like driving that much.
Why do I want to broil it at 90 degrees continuously for days on end?
I wasn't offered. I would have moved to Los Angeles in a heartbeat.
They had, I'm sorry to say this, no golden moments. They had no golden moments.
They were successful? Oh. Probably multi-level marketing was doing it for them, yeah, and telemarketers, yeah.
Nonsensical, absurd, risible trash, unadulterated garbage.
And they lost their taste for these kind of more adventurous elements of music.
The critics. You know, Shakespeare said, fashion is the thief of time. I think critics are the thieves of art. They take it, they bastardize it. They make it a joke. And I think they thought that the Surf Poets wanted to be whimsical. And when they realized that their very existence was being questioned by the Surf Poets, I think they...
I trashed the Surf Poets, and I did go at great lengths to do that. I think for the common good of mankind.
And that's what the critics did to the fans. They turned, I don't know how they did it, I think they just brutalized them with verbiage, bullshit. Most of it was totally untrue. Everything that was said about the Surf Poets that was true was said by the Surf Poets, and the critics, God damn them. God damn them.